one of the glorious thing that the WikiLeaks has done for the investigative journalists or for the greater public.
Because let's be honest, there is a lack of real investigative journalism, I think, in the media. More and more, there just needs to be much more of that kind of stuff, I think. And in some ways, I can see the internet. It thank God, it does. It does operate as it can be used as that. There are perhaps journalists feel they can take more risks and so on with if it's a internet-based organisation, which perhaps they can't if it's a bigger newspaper controlled by corporations and all that kind of stuff. There needs to be more of it, I think, and hopefully that will raise the profile, and more people, after knowing about WikiLeaks, will send in different videos and different documents and stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I was visiting the WikiLeaks website not long ago, and then there are all sorts of juicy stuff there. Like one of the recent entry is about a CIA confidential document. It's a sort of briefing document for those who are going to meet with the officials, the Prime Minister in Iceland. So they have the profile. They've interviewed different sorts of people close to the female Prime Minister, talking about, she didn't like to have her own driver. She only drove a Mitsubishi on her own, very direct, to the point, blunt sometimes. Talk a bit about her character, her style, doing all this sort of backgrounder. For the people who are going to meet with the officials. It's quite interesting to see that. And then, of course, this is less sensitive. You have somewhat more sensitive stuff. They even upload a document talking about how the CIA would like to discredit and do something to the WikiLeaks, because this has been worrying them quite a lot, because they were afraid that the national intelligence or the some intelligence service stuff operation going on perhaps could be damaged by the WikiLeaks operation. So all these sort of documents are very interesting.
Sure, because let's face it, the US military, they will not be happy about that story, because it is so strong, isn't it, actually? That footage, it was reported, I think, the TV news around the world took it up, and it's so strong, I think. It'll be interesting to see over the next few weeks the reaction, actually, because I think President Obama has got to say something about that, because it was just so blatantly outrageous, actually, what they were doing. And interestingly, the founder, one of the founders of WikiLeaks, I heard him talk about it, and he was saying that, in his opinion, the people firing at those civilians, the soldiers were behaving like it was a video game. Like it was like one of those video games. And he said that's part of the problem. It's almost the mentality of the soldiers that they forget it's a real war with real people, and those people have got, they're shooting at, have got real families. And it was almost as if that he said the soldiers felt that they had a score, that they had to reach some kind of score or so on, and
competing
in a video game. And it was pretty shocking, actually. And any of our listeners who's not seen it, I would say check it out, actually, because it makes you think, actually.
So Matt, we were supposed to talk about Michael Moore's movie, but I'm talking about the previous one. If you check out what kind of background of soldier they are finding in the US. They are finding working class and grassroots people to be the soldier, because no middle class and no well-educated people want to be the soldier. That's the problem of America as well.
You're absolutely right, actually. And
nobody believes there's an honor. It's a criminal. Shooting other people.
I saw that Michael Moore. It was a very interesting one, actually. He stood outside some recruitment office. Didn't he? Outside a recruitment office, and he was interviewing the people who would would go, and he was interviewing also the recruitment officers about some of the really sneaky tactics that they tried to get young working class Americans to join the military and stuff. I mean, it was pretty sickening actually, but certainly I would say in terms of the whole education system within the military, because obviously when you join the military, there is whatever a country it is, there is what could be called education, military education, isn't it? Re-education to get them thinking, soldiers thinking in the way that they want. But certainly in terms of the American military, they've got it a bit wrong, I think.
Can you believe that I have a friend? He born in Hong Kong and went to America, and he joined the American military, and he's a soldier in Iraq right now. And after one summer holiday, he came back to Hong Kong. He's totally brainwashed. I tell you, it's totally brainwashed by the Republican. I was so shocked about it, and probably I believe what you said is the brainwashing thing. Yeah. So at the end of the day, so they should people like the video game. Yeah. Because you're shooting something like in a dead house or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's brainwashed. But I mean, a decent military though, it should raise the
even the Hong Kong Chinese guy can be brainwashed like that. He's born in Hong Kong.
Yeah, absolutely. But absolutely. I mean, a decent military though, it should get soldiers to think actually, and to have some, higher ethical thinking when they're making a decision actually about whether to shoot an innocent person or not. I mean, it just seems crazy, I think. I mean, and again, the US military, time and again, they get themselves, they're shooting themselves in the foot. They're getting themselves in trouble because there's so many of these stories that come out of when they, in different parts of the world of what, the scandals of what they've been doing and so on. But just talking a bit about the whole concept of whistleblowing, though, I mean, it's an interesting, in terms of the Chinese culture, how much of it goes on. I get the impression, I'm guessing, but I get the impression in terms of the Hong Kong government, for example, that most people would be terrified who work for the government of whistleblowing. Do you get that feeling? And it's extremely rare, isn't it?
That's right.
For leaks to happen, it seems, in terms of the Chinese press, but by civil servants.
Everyone, especially civil servants, are really concerned about their job security, because whenever a name is going to be released, then maybe you're doomed. I mean, you might lose your job. So that's why WikiLeaks really, really focus on anonymous sources. They never reveal the source, the name of the source, to protect the identity of the one who reported. And that's why, according to reports, originally the CIA or the government would like to do something about it, but they couldn't, because they couldn't really identify anyone. WikiLeaks has been the most really kept shut, unlike Yahoo, who turned out give the name of the email, give everything to the Chinese government for the one who got jailed. So I mean, this sort of culture, of course, you can't find that in Hong Kong, particularly not only because of job security, but also for journalists. There's not that really serious investigative journalism going on in Hong Kong.
It's not.